Hello and welcome to today's class. Today we'll be studying about the August Lorsch theory of the location. See, last class we had talked about the central place theory as that was propounded by Walter Christaller. Walter Christaller in his central place theory analyzed the relationship between locations. He analyzed the relationship between bigger location and smaller location, how the smaller locations were dependent upon the bigger locations, and how the population was divided between the bigger and the smaller location. And he even took into consideration the marketing principle, the transport principles, and the administrative principles to determine the settlements and their influence upon each other. August Lorsch, though he was one of the, he critically analyzed this central place theory, but August Lorsch theory of location or, or theory of location that was published in his book The Economics of Location was not based on analysis of the settlement, but rather he based his entire knowledge or his entire analysis over where should there be a settlement which is more profitable. So basically, he said that that the settlement is more about, or the settlement exists where there are certain factors that favors the settlement, such as production of goods and services that are quickly sellable and that can gain maximum profit. And on that, he based on the marketing factor and the idea of maximum profit related to the sales revenue. Understand this. He says that the market will be established over there where there would be maximum profit and there would be more sales. See, he claimed that it is not a single economic pull that influences most settlement, rather, a complex combination of market, communication, and administration. See, Walter Christaller, in his central place theory, he said that smaller locations will be located near to the bigger locations. He simply said this. But Walter Christaller says that it is more than that. He says that a location that the location basically depends upon the combination of market, communication means transport or administration, and it also depends upon the sales revenue, etc. Again, what were the assumptions? Like Christaller, he said that the earth is an isotrophic surface. What is an isotrophic surface? Means a complete flat plane. Again, constant supply of goods and services. Population is evenly distributed. Demand decreases with the increase in price. Understand this. This is basically a economic concept. It says that the demand decreases with the increase in price. If the price increases, the demand decreases because people cannot afford to purchase that particular product. If the price increase is a result of an increase in the transport cost, demand would decrease with the distance from the production center. Understand this. He says that let us consider the Apple Mobile. Apple Mobile in USA is cheap when compared to the Apple Mobile in India. Why? Reason being is that the Apple directly being manufactured in the USA has the low cost when compared to that when it comes to India, it actually the transportation charges, taxes, others are added to it, hence it becomes costly in India. This point is nothing but you can that is the things that with the transportation the prices of the goods and services increases. Last but not least is the fifth point, that the entrepreneur is the economic man, their main object being to profit maximization. Remember that the Walter Christaller said that it is not the entrepreneur, rather the consumer is the rational economic creature. But Lorsch says entrepreneur is the economic man. Next. He oversimplified the world to a flat uniform plane. As we can see, he says this is the world, and he held supply constant and assumed that with the increase in the price, the demand of a product decreases, and if this price increases was because of the increase in transport cost, the demand would decrease with the distance from the production center. This is the basic thing that we are looking into it. See, this is the entire thing. This is your market center and this is your demand curve. As you can see, the demand is slowly and slowly decreasing as the distance goes on increasing from the market center. This was the basic theory of the loss. And based on this, Loss said that the number of entrepreneurs is indirectly proportional to the market and profit area, which means that increase in the entrepreneur will lead to decrease in the market area and the profit. What is the market area? Market area is the coverage or the area that an entrepreneur covers. If this is the entrepreneur, then this is the market area that it is covering. Hence, this is the equation that he derived from the above analysis. He says that again he says that he talks about the sphere of influence. Like we had discussed in the case of Walter Christaller, they basically what happens, the sphere of influence is circular, as we can see, because entrepreneurs are located at a equidistant position. But as you can see, certain places would be left behind. So he said that when they come closer, it will result in the formation of a hexagon. Now, Loss says each product will have different market area or threshold. For example, that let us say that we have a Dell computer. Now the Dell computer has certain market area. Let us say it has Cuttack and Bhubaneswar as the market area, and it depends upon the relative importance of the transport cost in the price, different patterns of the production center. Some of these patterns are rotated around the common production center, and some of these patterns will coincide, forming the point of maximum demand which should develop. See, understand this. Let's see. It says that within the hexagon there are 6 points. If in this point what happens is that this point is favorable because of the transport cost. This point is favorable because of the sale. This point is favorable again, let us say, because of some kind of communication, or we can say some kind of we can say the tax is less. So he said that key. Now what happens that it's not that key there would be a common thing, that would be a particular thing prevalent over a particular area. He said that key more than two things can be prevalent over an area. He said that key there can be market over an area, there can be less tax over an area, there can be more revenue over an area. So he said that key some of these patterns, now he said that key let us rotate this pattern, and when we rotate this we find that key there are certain patterns. For example, we can see there is a coincidence of 6 1 and 1, and this is nothing but this is the point where there would be maximum demand, because there are a number of factors which are multiplying. For example, there could be market center, again there could be tax reduction, there could again be other aspects. So this is Lost hence divided the entire city into the city rich and the city poor area. See, you might have problem in understanding this basic concept. So basically what I would say is that just try and understand this in a simplified manner. There is no need for making any complication. This is the only point that you would be facing problem. In that case, I would simply request you to mug it up. There would be no issues. Next, what is the criticism? See, Kristaller's this Lost criticism is same as that of Kristaller's. Like Kristaller's, Lost application also lacks practicality. Means practicably we cannot apply that because demand is not constant everywhere. Prices of the goods changes, etc. Again, it says that it has overstressed on demand. He doesn't consider the supply. Remember that supply is also a factor. For example, recently in the COVID pandemic, what happened was that there was a very short supply of the N95 mask. Now, such things has to be taken into consideration when we are looking into the settlement. Again, it has failed to take into account the problem arising from location interdependence on the plane. It says that there are certain problems which arises because of the interdependence between the location, but such has completely been sidelined by the loss. What can be the problems because of the interdependence of the location? It can be basically pollution, it can be basically your competition, etc. Next, market often overlaps and do not occur in isolation. Understand this. Therefore, as pointed by Losch, location equilibrium rarely occurs between a unit or entrepreneur and its market. Market often overlap and they do not occur in isolation. See, Market in general overlap. For example, we can say that, let us consider the example of your Delhi. In Delhi, we have two markets. One is have the CP or the Connaught Place, another one is your Karol Bagh. So basically, the exam says that, basically the principle says that ki market overlaps. They do not exist differentially, because there would be some kind of connection. People could be traveling from here, there could be supplies of the goods and essentials from the markets, etc. Again, lost notion of the market demand was too simple. In reality, entrepreneur will have to deal with several issues before he estimates demand as the basis of the locational decision. See, as we had already talked, that Losh completely based its idea on location, on demand. He says that the demand will remain constant, but again, demand doesn't remain constant, and that the factors that affect the demand are also different, such as it depends upon the purchasing capacity of an individual. Such things has not been mentioned by Losh. Last but not least, the empirical study might show no such pattern as that envisaged in the theory. This point, if you are also not writing, it is so far so good, because we have mentioned this is number one, that it lacks practicability. Again, hexagon used in this theory to delineate market areas. Why? Why we have used hexagon to delineate the market area? As we had already studied that the circles are, see, basically I would say that you do not need to write this. This is not necessary. The important thing that we need to analyze over here is that what is the difference between your Kristaller and your Losch? First point is that Kristaller's model is based on the study of Bavaria. Where is Bavaria? It is nothing but your southern Germany. While Losch sampling or the Losch analysis, you can see, is from all over Germany. This is number one, and it is one of the simple difference that we can gain. Number two, Kristaller's concept is based on consumer and seller behavior, transport and administrative services, while Losch took into consideration 150 commodities and services and developed over 40 networks. See, Kristaller, what he did was that he analyzed the behavior of the consumer and seller, but he did not analyze that what is the demand of the consumer and what actually the seller is selling. Basically, the consumer demands commodity and the seller is also selling a commodity. So Kristaller, he simply said that I will study the commodity rather than studying their behavior, because there is more practicality. Next, Losch model is less restrictive than the Kristaller. See, Kristaller, when he developed his model, he said that when the hexagonal sphere of influence do not overlap. But Losch says that the hexagonal sphere of influence can overlap. This is the basic difference. Next, in Kristaller's model, the higher order central place have all the functions of the lower order central, while in case of Losch, it is not necessary. It is not necessary that the higher order central place have all the functions of the lower order central place. Next, Losch model incorporates other urban functions such as manufacturing and industry. Such is not included by Kristaller. Next, Kristaller's theory predicted a stepped hierarchical form of the city size distribution, that is, all places in order have the same population. While Losch model is more closely in line with the theoretical results of the rank size rule. You can understand this point only when we study the rank size rule. In case you are not able to understand this, no need to write this point. Next, Losch divided the threshold into sectors of the rich and the poor. Like you can see over here, that Losch divided the sector into the rich sector as well as the poor sector. Means it is the portion which is the city rich resides, and this is the portion where the city poor are residing. Next, both the models stress on the distance minimizing pattern of consumer shopping choices. It says that that both says that the consumer will travel minimum distance, that is both Losch and Walter Kristaller says that both the consumer will travel minimum distance to gain the products and services. Next, the theories of Kristaller and Losch are central to much of the early work. Yes, they are. Again, Undertaken during the Geographical Quantitative Revolution 1960, both the model have been of great importance in regional planning, both in development and developing country. This can be your final conclusion. You can safely avoid this point and this point, like I said. So this that will be all for today. I hope you have a clarity of this. In case you have doubt, you can simply ask me over